The air in the lower docks of New Dakar was thick with ozone and red dust. Every sound bounced between metal hulls, vendors shouting, engines whining, the hum of 1,000 small dreams surviving another day. Malik Ebo Johnson wiped sweat from his brow, the edge of a micro-welder flickering like a blue flame in his hand. He knelt beneath a rusted freighter, coaxing life back into an engine most people had given up on. "Come on, baby," he murmured, tapping the coil housing. "You still got rhythm in you." A spark jumped, then the whole block vibrated with a steady, throaty rumble. Malik grinned. Around him, kids cheered and dock workers clapped. They called him Soul Fixer, half joke, half legend. Machines responded to his touch like old friends. From above, a thunderous roar cut through the applause. A shadow crossed the sky, sleek, silver, shaped like a tear. The crowd craned their necks as the alien ship descended, massive and regal, glowing symbols pulsing across its hull. "That ain't no freighter," one worker whispered. "That's Dominion design." The ship hit the landing strip hard, sparks scattering across the tarmac. Sirens wailed as the crowd backed away. Malik didn't move. His curiosity burned hotter than his caution. When the hatch opened, a shimmer of light revealed a tall figure, scaled, elegant, and draped in royal cloth that caught the wind like fire. Her eyes, a deep amethyst, scanned the humans with distaste. Duchess Sirelth Varkan of the Aurelian Dominion had arrived, and her pride filled the air like perfume and poison. "Where is your lead technician?" she demanded, her voice layered with a musical echo that wasn't entirely sound. The dockmaster stammered, "Ma'am, our systems, we weren't expecting." "I require immediate repairs. My vessel suffered damage during hyperspace descent." When the dockmaster hesitated, Malik stepped forward, wiping his hands on his jumpsuit. "You got a problem, Duchess. I can fix it." Her eyes flicked over him, oil-stained coveralls, calloused hands, dark skin gleaming with sweat. "You?" she said, disbelief coiling in her tone. "A human mechanic?" The alien guards snickered. Malik felt heat crawl up his neck, but he smiled slow, confident. "Last I checked, these docks don't fix themselves." Her laughter was like glass. "If you can repair a Dominion starship, I shall serve you, human." The guards laughed louder. The crowd did too, but Malik didn't. He looked her dead in the eyes. "Deal." The laughter stopped. The Duchess tilted her head, intrigued. "You dare accept?" He shrugged. "You dared offer?" Behind them the ship groaned, energy flickering in its veins. Malik walked toward it, unbothered by the alien guards' stares. Every step echoed against the metal floor like a drumbeat of defiance. He could feel her eyes on him as he disappeared beneath the hull. The ship was a miracle of design, organic circuits pulsing like veins, interfaces breathing faintly as if alive. But even the most advanced things broke down. Everything needed hands to keep it moving. Malik ran his fingers over the panels, listening. The ship hummed back. "You talk different," he whispered. "Let's find your voice." Outside, the Duchess folded her arms. "He's touching the neural array without shielding," Relo, her attendant, warned. "He will destroy himself," she replied, watching intently, "or prove that humans are more reckless than I believed." Inside, Malik smiled as the engine pulsed beneath his palms. The rhythm found him, a heartbeat in metal. "Oh, I see you now." He adjusted the power sequence, rerouted an energy pulse through a grounding wire, and the ship gave a long, sighing hum. Systems flickered online one by one. The crowd gasped as the alien lights glowed steady again. Malik crawled out, dusted himself off, and looked straight at the Duchess. "Your ship's breathing again," he said. "Guess that makes us even." For the first time, she didn't have a ready insult. Her gaze lingered, unreadable. Malik turned toward the night sky, stars stretching endless above New Dakar. "Funny thing," he said softly, almost to himself. "Sometimes a story starts with an insult that changes everything." Then he looked at the crowd, his grin returning. "Stick around, this one's about to get real interesting." The next morning, the air around Dock 47 was heavy with gossip. Word had spread fast. The alien Duchess who mocked a human now had her ship fixed by his hands. Some said she'd thanked him. Others said she was furious. Malik ignored them all. He just wanted his credits and some quiet. But when he arrived, the Dominion guards were already waiting, their armor glinting like wet stone. One of them raised a clawed hand. "The Duchess requests your presence." Malik hesitated. "She requests, huh? Sounds like she's still got her pride intact." "She insists." He sighed, grabbed his tool bag and followed. Inside the Starship, the air felt different, cleaner, colder, almost alive. The walls pulsed faintly with lavender light, and the hum of alien technology surrounded him like whispers. The scent was sharp, metallic, mixed with something floral he couldn't name. Sorelth waited in the central chamber, tall and poised, her scales refracting light into shades of gold and violet. Her eyes flicked toward him, unreadable. "You returned," she said softly. "You didn't exactly give me a choice," Malik replied. "Your people at the gate made sure of that." A faint smile curved her lips. "Dominion protocol. Do not take it personally." "Oh, I don't," he said, scanning the room. "I just figured royalty didn't summon dockhands twice in one lifetime." Her gaze lingered on him. "You fixed my vessel using primitive tools. That is unusual," Malik chuckled. "Primitive tools get the job done. Fancy gear breaks when you need it most." She studied him carefully, her eyes narrowing as if searching his face for deception. "You are confident. Most humans cower when they stand before me." He shrugged. "I work for a living. Ain't got time to cower." Her expression shifted, a flicker of amusement beneath her regal control. "You think yourself above fear?" "No," Malik said quietly. "I just learned to work through it." For a moment, neither spoke. The silence stretched, filled only by the rhythmic hum of the ship. Finally, she gestured toward a glowing console. "Show me how you restored the energy alignment. My engineers are perplexed." He approached the interface. "Your system's organic. It reacts to emotion, pressure, rhythm. You were treating it like hardware, but it's more like a living thing. You gotta listen to it." "Listen," she repeated, skeptical. "Yeah," Malik said, placing his hand on the panel. "Everything's got a rhythm. Machines, people, even stars. You find the beat, you find the problem." The ship responded to his touch, a gentle pulse of light rippling outward. Sorelth's eyes widened, faintly glowing with surprise. "That is impossible," she whispered. He smiled. "Guess nobody told the ship that." Behind her, Relo, the Duchess's aide, tilted his head curiously. "Perhaps humans are more intuitive than we assumed." Sorelth ignored him, but her voice softened. "You repaired what trained Dominion engineers could not. How did you learn such skill?" "My father taught me," Malik said, "back on Earth before the lights went out for good. He used to say, 'If a thing breathes, it can be fixed.' I never forgot that." Sorelth tilted her head. "And now you breathe life into stars." Malik chuckled. "Something like that." She stepped closer, studying him as though trying to decode his essence. "You intrigue me, human. Tell me, what drives you to such precision? Wealth? Recognition?" He shook his head. "Survival. Pride. And maybe proving people wrong." For the first time, her composure faltered. "Proving people wrong," she murmured. "That, I understand." A brief silence followed, heavy with unspoken questions. Then she turned away, her voice cool again. "Your work is not complete. The neural array requires further calibration. You will remain until it is stable." Malik raised an eyebrow. "Didn't know I signed up for overtime." She looked back, the faintest trace of a smile returning. "Consider it royal command." He exhaled slowly, glancing at the shimmering walls. "Guess I'm staying then." As he began setting up his tools again, the hum of the ship deepened, resonating with something unseen between them. He didn't know why, but he could feel it, the start of something neither of them understood yet. Malik spent the next day buried in the ship's bowels, surrounded by humming conduits and the faint scent of ionized air. The Aurelian starship pulsed like a living heart, each beat a reminder that it wasn't built for human hands. But that never stopped him before. He'd fixed worse with less. Sirelth stood at a distance, arms folded, her posture regal and cold. Her voice carried that same sharp music when she spoke. Your tools are crude. Our systems require neural calibration, not hammering. Malik didn't look up. It's not hammering if it works. You believe functionality outweighs precision? He smiled to himself. I believe precision is whatever keeps the engine alive. The Duchess approached slowly, the faint shimmer of her aura brushing the edge of his perception. Your arrogance is almost artistic. Appreciate the compliment, he said, tapping the core housing with his wrench. Now, if you're done judging, I've got work to finish. Her eyes narrowed. You are ungrateful. I offer you an opportunity to stand in the presence of Dominion royalty, and you treat it like menial labor. Malik wiped sweat from his forehead. Lady, where I come from, work is royal. Keeps people fed. Keeps them proud. That caught her off guard. For a fleeting moment something softened in her gaze, but it vanished as quickly as it came. Your philosophy is quaint. Maybe, he said, crouching to inspect a flickering energy conduit, but it's kept humanity alive longer than anyone expected. She tilted her head, her tone almost playful. How you speak as though humans are still worth fearing. He met her eyes. Not fearing, respecting. The ship trembled faintly. Malik frowned, tightening a cable cluster before flipping a manual switch. The vibration stopped. A low hum spread through the deck plates, deep and steady. The alien technicians who had gathered nearby exchanged startled looks. How did you do that? Relo asked, stepping forward. Malik smirked. You were syncing the feedback through the main core. Problem is, your resonance frequencies mismatched with the ship's emotional signature. Emotional signature, Sirelth repeated, disbelief dripping from every word. That's right, Malik said. Your ships are alive. How just forgot how to listen to them. He placed a hand on the glowing conduit. The pulse steadied, responding to his touch. See that? She's calmer now. The Duchess stepped closer, her voice low. Machines do not have emotions. He looked up at her. Then why do you treat yours like it's grieving? Her jaw tightened. You presume too much, human. Maybe, he said softly. But the ship's talking whether you like it or not. The air between them thickened, charged with something unseen. Curiosity, pride, maybe even mutual challenge. Relo broke the silence. Duchess, readings are stabilizing. Power output has increased by 30%. Sirelth turned to her aide, her expression unreadable. Then she looked back at Malik. Luck, he chuckled. Skill. She stared at him for several long seconds before finally speaking. You are not what I expected. Neither are you, he replied. Her lips twitched, as though fighting a smile. Do not mistake tolerance for admiration, human. Wouldn't dream of it. She turned sharply, her robe flowing behind her like liquid metal. Continue your repairs. I shall observe. Suit yourself, he said, crouching again. As she watched him work, her thoughts churned. No one in the Dominion dared speak to her this way. Yet this man, this mechanic, moved through her sacred technology as if it were an extension of his own body. There was rhythm in his motion, a quiet conviction that made arrogance look like art. Malik, unaware of her gaze, hummed under his breath, an old Earth tune his father used to play when the lights went out. The alien vessel seemed to hum with him, a strange harmony bridging two worlds. When the main reactor finally purred into perfect sync, the Duchess exhaled softly. Malik rose, his expression calm and satisfied. Guess your ship's feeling better now, he said. Sirelth didn't answer right away. Her voice, when it came, was low and thoughtful. Perhaps I misjudged you, Malik Ebo Johnson. He smiled faintly. Wouldn't be the first time someone did. Malik had been inside the Duchess's ship for nearly 2 days. The longer he stayed, the more he realized the vessel wasn't just alien. It was personal. Every system pulsed like a vein, alive with faint luminescence that shifted with sound and mood. He'd learned to move quietly, almost respectfully, as though the ship were listening. He crouched beside the neural core, its translucent casing glowing with rhythmic pulses. But today something was off. The ship's hum had turned erratic, its frequencies clashing like an instrument played by shaking hands. "You're fighting me again," Malik muttered, adjusting a node. "What's wrong, girl?" Sirelth appeared behind him, her presence marked by the faint shimmer of violet light. "The systems are reacting to interference. You are overloading the emotional conduits." He frowned. "That's not what's happening. It's rejecting input. Your neural stream's misaligned." "My neural stream?" Her tone carried disbelief. "You think the problem lies with me?" Malik glanced up at her. "You're linked to this ship, right? Your people use mental sync to control the interface?" "That is correct." "Then if you're off balance, she's off balance." He tapped the console gently. "It's not just tech, it's empathy, and you're feeding her frustration." For a moment silence stretched between them. The Duchess's composure cracked ever so slightly, a flicker of tension across her eyes. "Humans speak of empathy as though it were a tool." "It is," he said, "just one most people don't use right." Her gaze hardened. "Do you suggest I am emotional?" Malik grinned faintly. "I'm suggesting you care more than you admit." Sirelth's voice dropped. "You presume too much again." He shrugged. "You said the same thing yesterday, and yet here you are watching me work." She didn't respond, but her tail flicked once, sharp, irritated. Relo entered the chamber quietly, carrying a data sphere. "Duchess, the reactor logs show consistent desynchronization since the descent." "Then the humans' theory holds merit," she said reluctantly. "Can you correct it?" Malik sighed. "Maybe, but I'll need help." Her brow lifted. "From whom?" "My sister, Amina. She's a sound engineer back home. Can fine-tune frequency better than anyone I know. I can patch her through remotely." Sirelth hesitated. "You would involve another human in Dominion affairs? If you want this ship stable, yeah." She studied him for several long seconds, then finally nodded. "Proceed." Malik activated his comlink. A burst of static crackled, followed by a familiar voice. "Malik, you alive? Heard rumors you're fixing some alien diva's ride." He smiled. "Something like that. Need your help, Mina." "I'm sending the frequency data. She's running an emotional sync drive, and it's all out of tune." Amina laughed softly. "Man, only you would call a spaceship emotional. Give me a sec. Yeah, I see it. She's oscillating in two tones at once, like she's arguing with herself." Sirelth's head turned sharply. "I do not argue." Amina's laughter filtered through the comm. "Do you do now?" Malik bit back a grin. "She means the ship, Mina. Focus." "I'm focused. Adjust your core stabilizer by 0.03, then hum something steady. She'll pick up the pattern." Malik raised an eyebrow. "Hum?" Amina's voice softened. "You always fix things with rhythm. Do what you do." He nodded, exhaling slowly. Then, without thinking, he started humming, low and steady, the same melody their father once used when tuning old engines. The sound filled the chamber, vibrating against the alien walls. The lights shifted, the pulses growing smoother. Sirelth stared, frozen, as the ship's heartbeat aligned with his tone. Relo whispered, awed, "It responds to his voice." When Malik finally stopped, the ship purred, a deep, content hum. Systems registered green across the console. "There," he said softly. "She's stable." Sirelth looked at him as though seeing him for the first time. "You used music?" "Not music," he said. "Memory." She said nothing for a long moment, her eyes distant. "Perhaps we have underestimated the soul within machinery," Malik nodded, "and the soul behind it." The Duchess's gaze lingered, her pride tempered by something unspoken. The hum of the ship surrounded them, deep and alive, like a secret shared between hearts that had never meant to meet. The Duchess's ship was finally stable, but Malik knew something wasn't right. The readings were clean, too clean, like a surface wiped to hide what lay beneath. He'd learned long ago that perfect numbers meant someone was lying. He leaned over the central interface, scanning the energy flow. "There's interference here," he said quietly, "like a ghost signal riding your core frequency." Sirelth stood nearby, her posture rigid. "Impossible." "Dominion systems are immune to corruption." Malik smirked faintly. That's what people say right before something explodes. Her eyes narrowed. Explain. It's sabotage, he said. Someone buried code deep in your ship's core. It's quiet, dormant. But when it activates, it'll tear through every subsystem. The Duchess's composure faltered for a breath. You are certain? I've seen it before. Back home, pirates used similar tricks. Hide a bomb behind code that looks like maintenance. He straightened. Who else has had access to your systems? Her silence said more than words. Relo stepped forward. Only the Duchess's retinue. Dominion engineers, all loyal. Malik shot him a look. Loyal's a word people love to use until it costs them something. Sirelth's tone hardened. Accusing my people is dangerous ground, human. I'm not accusing, Malik said calmly. I'm warning. Whoever did this wants you gone. The Duchess turned toward the core, her expression unreadable. Show me. Malik activated a holographic projection. Streams of golden energy flowed upward like light made liquid. Then he highlighted a dark pulse embedded deep inside. There. That's your infection. Buried so deep, your diagnostics skim right over it. Relo leaned closer. Can it be removed? Malik frowned. Maybe, but it's tied to your ship's neural matrix. One wrong move and the whole thing fries. Sirelth's gaze was sharp. Then you will not fail. He met her stare evenly. No promises, just effort. Hours passed in silence except for the rhythmic hum of energy. Malik worked through layers of encrypted code, guided by instinct and memory. Each barrier he cracked revealed another deeper layer, like peeling back secrets meant to stay buried. Who would do this? He asked quietly. Sirelth's voice was tight. There are factions within the Dominion who resent my reforms. They see my outreach to other species as weakness. So this ain't just about your ship, Malik said. It's politics. Everything is politics, she murmured bitterly. He gave a short laugh. In New Dakar, we just call that survival. The console flickered. A warning flashed red. Malik cursed under his breath. The code's waking up. Relo stiffened. What does that mean? It means we're out of time. Malik's fingers flew over the controls. Someone's trying to trigger it remotely. Sirelth stepped closer, her tone sharp. Can you stop it? Not from here, he said. I need to access the physical relay, the heart of your ship. That sector is restricted, Relo protested. Malik turned to the Duchess. Then unlock it. For a long moment she hesitated. Trust was a foreign word in her world. But then she touched a sigil on her wrist, and the doors opened with a low, resonant hum. Do what you must. Malik descended into the lower core chamber, where the energy of the ship throbbed like a heartbeat. He could feel it, alive, anxious. The signal was spreading fast. He reached into the housing, guiding the power flow manually. Sparks burned across his gloves, heat biting through fabric. Come on, he muttered, voice low and steady. Don't die on me now. From above, Sirelth's voice echoed. The readings are stabilizing slowly. Good, he said through gritted teeth. Means she's listening. A final surge rippled through the ship, followed by silence. The lights dimmed, then glowed steady again. Malik exhaled, exhausted but smiling. It's done, he said. The virus is gone. Sirelth stepped forward, her gaze sharp but softer now. You saved my vessel. And my life. Yeah, Malik said, breathing hard. But whoever planted that thing, they'll try again. The Duchess's expression hardened. Then we will find them. Malik looked at her, his tone low. You mean we? For the first time she didn't correct him. Malik didn't sleep that night. The glow from the Duchess's ship cast pale light over the docks, and his mind wouldn't stop turning. Whoever planted the sabotage code hadn't just targeted an alien noble, they'd used human systems to do it. That meant someone inside New Dakar's grid had sold access, someone local. He stood on the platform, watching cargo drones glide through the humid air. Below, the city pulsed with life, market stalls buzzing, neon banners flickering over crowded streets. This was home, chaotic and proud, but it had its shadows too. Malik knew them all. A voice cut through the hum. You look like you've been staring at ghosts again. He turned to see Captain Omari Tay approaching, a broad man with skin the color of deep bronze and eyes sharp as welding sparks. Omari's limp was heavier now, his prosthetic knee hissing with each step. "Old ghosts don't die easy," Malik said. "They never do," Omari replied. "Heard you're working with one of those Dominion royals." "That true?" Malik sighed. "Yeah, Duchess Sirelth Varkan. She's not what I expected, but she's in trouble. Someone tried to take her ship out from the inside." Omari's brows knit. "And you think it ties back here?" "Has to," Malik said. "The code language they used, it's human architecture. Someone on this rock helped." The captain grunted. "You know who moves that kind of tech on New Dakar?" Malik nodded slowly. "The Splice Syndicate." Omari's tone hardened. "You walk into that mess, you better be ready. Those people don't forget debts." "I don't plan to owe them anything," Malik said. Omari gave a quiet chuckle. "Boy, nobody plans to." He clapped Malik's shoulder. "Just remember what I taught you. People in power respect two things, results and restraint. Keep both." Malik gave a small nod. "Always." Later he descended into the Undercity, where light struggled to breathe. The tunnels were damp, lined with cables and graffiti that pulsed faintly under UV glow. Voices echoed through the steel corridors, dealers, tech salvagers, and hustlers running their trades. He found who he was looking for, a woman named Kojo, her hair silvered with age but her eyes sharp as ever. She leaned against a metal crate, puffing from a vapor stick. "Well, well," she said, "the soul fixer himself. What brings a mechanic of the people down to my playground?" Malik didn't waste words. "I'm looking for someone selling Dominion code." "Neural architecture, sabotage grade," Kojo raised a brow. "That's high-tier poison. What's it to you?" "Someone used it to hit a ship I'm fixing." Her laughter was soft but dangerous. "Let me guess. The Duchess. Whole doc's been whispering about her and her shiny arrogance." He crossed his arms. "You know something." She blew a cloud of vapor, the mist glowing blue under the lights. "Maybe. I heard about a deal, Dominion encryption for human credits. Came through a broker named Thalen. Works the North Spires." Malik frowned. "Thalen's Dominion, isn't he?" "Half-breed," she said. "Too human for their kind, too alien for ours. Makes him useful to everyone and loyal to no one." He turned to leave, but Kojo's voice stopped him. "Be careful, Malik. The Splice Syndicate doesn't like people cutting through their threads. You start pulling, the whole web shakes." He glanced back. "Then I'll shake it till something falls out." When he returned to the ship, Sirelth was waiting, her expression unreadable. "You've been gone," she said. "Gathering leads," he replied. "The code came through a broker on this planet." "Someone close to your kind." Her eyes darkened. "Aurelian?" "Half," he said. "Name's Thalen. Ring any bells?" She hesitated before answering. "Yes. He once served my cousin's court before vanishing with classified data. If he's here, the situation is worse than I feared." Malik nodded grimly. "Then we find him." Her tone cooled. "And when we do?" He looked up at her, his voice steady. "We make him talk." For the first time, a spark of something like respect flashed in her eyes. "Perhaps you were not meant to fix ships alone, Malik Ebo Johnson." He smiled faintly. "Maybe not, but every problem's got wires somewhere. You just gotta know which ones to cut." The Dominion night stretched over New Dakar like liquid glass, fractured by neon and the hum of star traffic. Malik stood near the Duchess's ship, his arms crossed, eyes fixed on the skyline. Somewhere up there Thalen was hiding, and every second wasted felt like another chance for him to disappear. Sirelth approached quietly, her scales reflecting the dock's pale lights. "You've been silent since you returned from the Undercity," she said. "I'm thinking," Malik replied. "Thinking about how far people'll go when trust gets broken." "Trust is an illusion," she said coldly. "It exists until one side remembers who holds the power." He glanced at her. "You really believe that?" "I have lived by it," she said. "Every alliance, every treaty, each one forged in convenience, never truth. Even my own kin betrayed me when I sought to unite our worlds." Malik shook his head. Then maybe that's why you keep getting burned. You can't build anything lasting if all you ever see are angles. Her gaze sharpened. And you, human, trust too easily. That is your weakness. Maybe, he said, but it's what makes us different. We still try. Their standoff was interrupted by Relo rushing toward them, his face pale. The core systems. Something's wrong. There's interference again. Serelth turned sharply. Impossible. Malik purged the infection. I did, Malik said, already moving. But if it's back, that means someone's close. Someone broadcasting the same signal. Inside the ship, alarms pulsed with rhythmic urgency. Malik accessed the console, his fingers flying across the interface. Data scrolled fast, chaotic. There, see that? External trigger. Someone's piggybacking on your Dominion frequency. Serelth frowned. The encryption is mine. Only I possess the genetic key to access it. Then they copied it, Malik said. Thalen must have cloned your biosignature. Smart, dirty move. The Duchess's jaw tightened. He would need proximity to override my control. Which means he's not far, Malik said. He could even be here. She turned slowly toward Relo. The aide froze. Duchess, no, surely you do not. Her voice cut through him like glass. You handled the communications relay during descent. Explain how an outsider obtained my genetic code. Relo stammered. Duchess, I swear on the Aurelian oath, Stop, Malik said, his voice low but firm. If he's guilty, we'll know. If he's not, you'll lose someone loyal for nothing. Her eyes flickered toward Malik. You presume to halt my judgment? I'm saying you don't win wars by shooting your own crew, he said. Let me check the data trail first. She hesitated, then gave a single nod. Malik traced the signal deeper through the system, following each echo until the pattern shifted. 2 streams, identical but slightly misaligned. He frowned. It's not Relo. The clone signal's mirroring him. Someone's using his identity as cover. Serelth's expression faltered, guilt flickering across her features. Then he is innocent. Malik nodded. For now. But whoever's behind this knows your ship's language better than I do. Her tone softened, almost grudgingly. Then we must combine strengths. Guess we're finally talking teamwork, he said. Without another word, she placed her palm against the console. The lights deepened to violet. I will link our minds. The neural interface requires synchronization between pilot and technician. Malik hesitated. You mean telepathic link? Yes, she said. Your thoughts will merge with mine. There can be no deception, no barriers. He exhaled slowly. You sure about this? You barely trust me with your tools. Her voice lowered. Perhaps that is why it must be done. Their hands met. A surge of energy rushed through him, heat, rhythm, and something indescribably alive. For a brief moment he saw flashes not his own, a throne room of light, betrayal under alien suns, the ache of being both ruler and prisoner. Her voice echoed in his mind, steady but shaken. You see now what I am? He swallowed hard. Yeah, and you see what I am. Just a man trying to keep things running. The pulse steadied. The ship calmed. Together they isolated the echo and cut the interference. When the link broke, both stood breathing heavily. Serelth's voice was quieter now. You risked your mind to stabilize the bond. And you opened yours to a stranger, he replied. Guess that makes us even. Her eyes lingered on him. Perhaps trust is not illusion after all. Malik smiled faintly. Told you, you just gotta give it a chance. The link between Malik and Serelth had left echoes that neither could shake. Even after the connection broke, the rhythm of her thoughts lingered in his mind, steady, intricate, ancient. It was like hearing a song without words, a melody carved from light. He sat beneath the open hatch of the ship, catching his breath. The city below was quiet now, its markets dimming into late-night calm. The smell of ozone mixed with the scent of fried plantain from a food stand somewhere down the docks. For a moment, he almost felt at peace. Serelth appeared behind him, her silhouette outlined by the soft glow of her vessel. You have not rested, she said. He chuckled. I didn't think you'd notice. I feel the pulse of this ship, she replied. Your fatigue hums through it. He looked up, half smiling. Didn't realize I was broadcasting my heartbeat to royalty. You are not subtle, she said dryly, though there was no venom in her tone. He leaned back, wiping grease from his hands. Guess the link works both ways then. I could still feel you too, for a while. Like hearing two songs play at once. Her expression softened, curiosity flickering across her face. And what did you hear? Discipline, anger, sadness. He hesitated. You hide it well, but it's in the rhythm. You've been carrying something heavy for a long time. Sirelth's eyes lowered. You presume much, human. I just listen, he said quietly. Machines talk. People too. You just gotta know what to listen for. She regarded him for a long moment. You perceive connection where others see separation. That is unusual. Malik shrugged. Maybe that's what keeps us going. Finding connection in places that shouldn't have any. The Duchess's gaze moved to the ship, its panels now pulsing with a slow, steady beat. Since our link, the vessel responds differently. It follows rhythm. He grinned. That's the human touch. We build with rhythm. Even the engines need a little soul. She tilted her head. Soul. An unquantifiable concept. Exactly, he said. That's why it works. They stood in silence, the hum of the ship deepening into a warm vibration that seemed to echo Malik's own heartbeat. For a fleeting second, Sirelth reached out, pressing her palm against the hull. The surface rippled faintly beneath her touch. It listens, she whispered. Told you, Malik said softly. Everything listens if you treat it right. Her eyes flicked toward him, a trace of wonder breaking through her composure. Perhaps your kind's simplicity hides something more profound. He smirked. Or maybe we're just stubborn enough to make things work. A faint shimmer of humor crossed her face, gone as quickly as it appeared. Stubbornness. Yes, I see that in you. Before Malik could reply, the ship emitted a low vibration, different from the usual hum. The lights along the corridor shifted from violet to deep red for half a second before stabilizing again. He frowned. That wasn't random. It was a fluctuation, she said, though her voice lacked conviction. No, Malik said. That was rhythm again, off-beat, like someone else tapping in. Sirelth's expression hardened. You mean Tharlan? Maybe, he said. But it's not an attack this time, it's a message. She glanced at him sharply. What kind of message? Not sure yet, Malik said, listening. The ship emitted another faint pulse. 3 beats, pause, 2 beats, pause, 1 long tone. He recognized it instantly. That's code. Old dock signal from Earth. Someone's reaching out through the frequency system. Her tone darkened. You believe the saboteur is contacting us? He shook his head slowly. No, this feels different. Like someone warning us. For a moment they both stood there, the weight of the unknown pressing between them. The hum of the ship settled back into its gentle rhythm, but the tension in the air did not fade. Sirelth's voice broke the silence. Your world taught you this language of rhythm? Yeah, he said. Where I come from, rhythm's how we survived. Music, work, prayer, rebellion. It's how we talk when no one wants to listen. She studied him closely. Then listen again, Malik Ebo Johnson. Perhaps your rhythm has more to reveal. He met her gaze, steady and unwavering. Oh, I'm already listening. And whatever's coming, it's moving in time with us now. The warning signal had been no mistake. By dawn, Dominion patrols had sealed the docks, scanning every channel for hidden transmissions. Malik stood beside Sirelth at the edge of the hangar, watching sleek silver ships drift overhead like predatory birds. The hum of tension filled the air. They're looking for Tharlan, Malik said quietly. Sirelth nodded. Or for someone to blame. The Dominion never admits weakness. Guess that makes us their problem, Malik said, half smiling. Before she could respond, Relo approached, his face drawn. Duchess, Command requests your presence aboard the flagship immediately. They claim new intelligence about the sabotage. Sirelth's eyes narrowed. New intelligence? Convenient timing. Malik crossed his arms. Feels like a setup. Relo hesitated, his gaze flicking between them. I will accompany you, Duchess, to ensure your safety. She studied him for a long moment, then nodded. Very well. Malik, you will remain here and monitor the systems. He frowned. Not a fan of sitting on my hands while people make moves in the dark. Her tone softened slightly. Trust me once more. He exhaled. Yeah. All right, just don't walk into anything blind. Hours passed before the comms crackled back to life. Malik leaned over the console, tapping the receiver. Sirelth, you there? Static answered. He frowned, adjusting the frequency. Then a faint voice, hers, cut through. Malik, it's a trap. The channel went dead. He swore under his breath, grabbing his toolkit and comlink. Amina, I need you, he said through the transmitter. His sister's voice came back instantly. Tell me you didn't just start something. Duchess's escort got compromised. She's off-world, near orbit on a Dominion carrier. I need a way up there fast. Malik, you don't even have clearance. I've got engines and bad ideas, he said. That's enough. Minutes later, he was in an old cargo skiff, its engines whining like overworked lungs. Amina guided him remotely from the surface, rerouting old dock codes. You're clear to launch, she said. Don't die doing something heroic. No promises. As the ship pierced the upper atmosphere, the darkness of space unfolded ahead, silent, immense, and alive with distant stars. The Dominion carrier loomed above, massive and cold, its hull etched with alien glyphs. Malik maneuvered the skiff into a maintenance bay, heart hammering. He slipped out, his boots ringing against metal. Voices echoed nearby, Dominion officers arguing in harsh tones. Then through a narrow corridor he saw them. Sirelth surrounded by guards, her wrists bound with energy restraints. Relo stood beside her, his head bowed. Relo, Malik whispered. The aide's voice carried, calm and chilling. You should have stayed on the surface, mechanic. Malik froze. You set her up. Sirelth turned, fury and disbelief flashing across her face. You? Relo's expression was unreadable. The Dominion feeds on strength, not sentiment. Your alliance with humans, your sympathy, would have weakened us all. I did what loyalty demanded. Malik stepped forward. You call betrayal loyalty? Relo's eyes narrowed. You wouldn't understand. You fix machines, not empires. Malik's tone hardened. You break both just as easy. Without warning, alarms blared. Malik lunged toward the nearest console, forcing an override. Duchess, hold on, he shouted, rerouting the containment field. The lights flickered, then died. Darkness swallowed the corridor. Sirelth's voice came sharp through the dark. Malik! I'm here. He reached her, snapping the restraints loose with a plasma cutter. We need to move now. They ran through the labyrinthine corridors, the hum of alarms chasing them like wolves. Behind them, Relo's voice echoed through the ship's comm system. You can't escape, Duchess. There's nowhere in this galaxy the Dominion won't find you. Sirelth's breath came heavy, her pride bruised but unbroken. He's wrong, she said. Malik looked at her. You sure? Her gaze met his, fierce and alive. Because we're not running. We're taking back my ship. He grinned. Now that's the spirit. She lifted her chin, the gleam of royalty tempered by raw defiance. Then let us show them, she said, what happens when arrogance meets soul. The Dominion carrier drifted above New Dakar's orbit, its metallic body illuminated by the planet's amber glow. Inside, Malik and Sirelth moved through the narrow corridors like hunted shadows. The ship's alarm still wailed, echoing against the walls in pulsing rhythm. Relo's got the command deck locked down, Malik said, scanning the control panel of a junction hatch. If we don't override the main relay, he'll steer this whole ship into the planet's defense grid. Sirelth's voice was low but sharp. Then we reclaim control before he does. You know the systems better than anyone alive. he smirked. Funny how fast your confidence in humans improved. Her eyes flashed with a glint of dry humor. Desperation breeds evolution. Malik keyed in a manual bypass, sparks flying as the door hissed open. Then let's evolve before we explode. They entered the access corridor leading to the reactor shaft. The temperature rose and a low hum filled the air, steady, ominous. Malik paused, frowning. He's rerouted auxiliary power. If he overloads the reactor, this thing goes up like a starburst. Sirelth placed a hand on the wall, her telepathic connection pulsing faintly. He's close, she said. I can feel his mind, angry, desperate. Good, Malik said. Means we can still catch him before he does something stupid. As they advanced, the floor trembled. The distant thud of detonations rolled through the structure. Sirelth steadied herself. He's sabotaging the internal systems. He would rather destroy everything than surrender. Malik's jaw tightened. Then we'll stop him our way. They reached the reactor chamber. The vast core pulsed with blinding light, energy coiling like lightning in a cage. Relo stood on the upper platform, hands flying across the controls. His voice echoed through the chamber. You don't understand, Duchess. The Dominion cannot afford weakness. They will thank me for saving them from your mercy. Sirelth's tone cut through the noise, sharp as a blade. You call this salvation? You've doomed us all. Only the unworthy, he said, and triggered the overload sequence. Malik bolted forward. Oh, hell no! He climbed the maintenance ladder, every rung rattling beneath his boots. Keep the power channels steady, he yelled down. If the flow spikes, we're finished. Sirelth closed her eyes, linking her mind to the ship. The lights dimmed, the rhythm of the core slowing slightly. I can hold it for a short time, but not long. Malik reached the platform and swung his wrench like a weapon, striking Relo's hand away from the control pad. The aide stumbled back, eyes burning with alien fury. You are nothing human, a child playing in the stars. Malik grabbed the console and began rerouting the charge flow. Yeah, well, this child's the one keeping your ship from vaporizing. Relo lunged at him, claws flashing. Malik ducked, using his momentum to throw the alien against the railing. Duchess, he shouted, cut the secondary conduit. Now! She responded instantly, focusing her energy. The reactor's blinding light dimmed, its hum settling into a lower tone. Malik slammed the final switch, rerouting power back into containment. The reactor stabilized, releasing a wave of pressure that knocked Relo to his knees. The aide gasped, disbelief etched across his face. You saved it? Malik stared down at him. That's what we do. Sirelth approached slowly, her gaze cold but resolute. You spoke of loyalty, Relo. But loyalty without honor is rot. Relo met her eyes, defiant until the end. Then you are no Duchess of mine. Her expression hardened. No, I am something greater. Before he could respond, security drones stormed the chamber, weapons raised. Malik stepped back, breathing hard. Guess the cavalry's late, as usual. Sirelth deactivated the lockdown, her command ringing through the ship. This vessel is under my authority once more. Stand down. The drones halted. Silence followed, heavy and absolute. Malik exhaled, his muscles trembling. That was too close. Sirelth looked at him, her voice quiet but firm. You fought beside me when even my own kind turned against me. He nodded. Guess that makes us partners now. Her lips curved faintly. No, Malik Ebo Johnson. That makes us equals. Outside, the first rays of dawn struck New Dakar's horizon, scattering gold across the void. The ship, battered, defiant and alive, floated steady above a world that had learned once again to fight back. Silence filled the command deck after the chaos. The Dominion carrier floated steady above New Dakar, its systems stabilizing one by one. Malik stood beside the Duchess, both of them breathing hard, the faint hum of the reactor now a calm, steady rhythm. You did it, he said quietly. The ship's alive again. Sirelth turned toward him, her face lit by the soft glow of the consoles. No, she said. We did it. He smiled faintly. Didn't think I'd ever hear a Duchess admit teamwork. Her gaze lingered on him, a trace of pride softening her sharp features. You have proven yourself beyond what I imagined. You restored not just my vessel, but my faith." Malik shrugged. "Faith's like an engine. Gotta keep tuning it or it falls apart." She almost smiled. A mechanic's philosophy, simple, yet strangely profound. Before either could say more, a voice crackled through the comms. "Dominion Fleet Command to Duchess Varkan. Status report." Sirelth's posture straightened instantly. Her regal composure returned like armor sliding into place. "This is Duchess Varkan. The threat has been neutralized. The saboteur acted without sanction. My ship remains under Dominion control." The voice on the other end hesitated. "Reports indicated human interference." She glanced at Malik, her tone cool but decisive. "Incorrect. Human ingenuity prevented total destruction. Record that in your archives." The comms fell silent, then disconnected. Malik let out a quiet breath. "Didn't know royalty could talk back to their bosses." Her expression was unreadable. "Royalty serves no master. We serve duty." Then her eyes softened again. "And sometimes those without titles remind us what duty truly means." He nodded, rubbing grease from his hands onto a cloth. "So, what now? You go back to your empire. I go back to fixing junkers." Sirelth regarded him for a long time. "There was a moment," she said, "when I mocked you. I offered servitude in jest. Now I see that your hands command more than mine ever could." Malik chuckled. "You saying I outrank a duchess?" Her voice lowered. "I am saying that if you command, I would follow." For a beat neither spoke. The words hung heavy in the air, full of weight neither expected. Malik broke the silence first, his tone steady. "You don't owe me anything. You just needed someone to remind you that worth doesn't come from where you're born. It comes from what you build." Sirelth's gaze drifted to the viewport. The stars stretched endlessly before them, infinite and cold. "And yet even stars must be repaired when they fade," she murmured. "Perhaps the Dominion has forgotten that." "You could teach them," Malik said. "You've already started." She turned back to him, something almost like humility flickering in her eyes. "Perhaps with guidance." "Guidance?" he repeated, amused. "From me?" "From the man who fixed what I could not," she said simply. Malik felt the weight of her words settle in. For the first time she wasn't speaking as royalty, but as someone who understood struggle. It struck him harder than he expected. "You really mean that?" he said quietly. She nodded once. "You have shown me the strength in imperfection, the wisdom in resilience. That is a kind of mastery my people have long forgotten." He looked down, shaking his head. "All I did was fix your ship." "No," she said. "You fixed me." The words caught him off guard. For a moment he didn't know what to say. Then he smiled, a small, tired, genuine smile. "Guess we're even then." Sirelth regarded him in silence before extending her hand. "Then let this be our accord, Malik Ebo Johnson, human mechanic, soul fixer. From this day forward, the Dominion recognizes your craft and your courage." He hesitated, then clasped her hand firmly. "Guess that's one for the history books." "History," she said softly, "will remember the day a duchess bowed to a man of earth." Malik met her eyes. "Nah. Let's make it the day two people decided to fix the future instead." The ship's hum deepened around them, the sound of stability, of renewal. For the first time, both of them understood that what they had repaired wasn't just metal. It was trust. The Dominion fleet departed from orbit 3 days later, leaving a trail of silver light across New Dakar's dawn. Word of what had happened spread fast, how a human mechanic had saved an alien duchess's flagship and lived to tell it. Malik, though, wanted nothing to do with stories. He was back in the docks, oil on his hands, sweat on his brow, trying to forget the way royalty had looked at him like an equal. Amina found him under a transport skiff, muttering to himself as he adjusted a faulty valve. "You're famous, you know," she said. He grunted. "Bad sign when people start knowing your name." She laughed. "Half the market's calling you the Star Whisperer. Dominion diplomats are looking for you, Malik. You really gonna act like none of that happened? He slid out from beneath the skiff. It happened, but I still got bills. Fame don't pay dock fees. Amina studied him, her tone softening. She's gone, huh? Malik paused. Yeah, back to her empire. Probably forgot about me already. But even as he said it, a part of him knew it wasn't true. The Duchess wasn't someone who forgot. Not after what they'd been through. Later that evening, the dock's control tower signaled an incoming vessel. Malik ignored it at first, assuming it was another freighter from the belt. But when he glanced up, he froze. The ship wasn't like any freighter. It shimmered gold and violet, gliding like light through fog. Dominion design. Don't tell me, Amina said beside him. That's her, isn't it? Malik wiped his hands, heart tightening. Guess she didn't forget after all. The ship touched down smoothly, its hatch opening with a hiss of pressurized air. Serelth descended the ramp with her usual grace, flanked by no guards, no attendants. Her royal robes were gone, replaced by a simple black uniform, marked only by a single insignia at her collar. Duchess, Malik said cautiously. She smiled faintly. Not anymore. He frowned. What do you mean? I renounced my title, she said. The High Council deemed my actions unorthodox. My defiance cost me my rank, but not my purpose. Malik stared at her. You gave it all up. I exchanged status for freedom, she said calmly. And freedom, I learned, is a human luxury worth more than crowns. Amina whistled softly. You're serious? Serelth inclined her head. Quite. Then she looked back at Malik. I came to offer partnership. My ship requires a chief engineer. The Dominion may not welcome me, but the stars still need those who can mend them. He hesitated. You want me to leave New Dakar? I want you to lead with me, she said, not as servant or superior, but as equal. Malik looked down at his calloused hands. You sure you know what you're asking for? I'm just a man who fixes things. Her eyes met his, unflinching. And I am a woman learning what it means to be broken. Together we might repair something greater. Amina elbowed him. You gonna keep the Duchess waiting, big brother? He chuckled softly, glancing between them. You always know how to guilt a man. She grinned. It's a family trait. Malik turned back to Serelth. You really think a mechanic from the docks belongs on a starship? She smiled. I think a mechanic from the docks already changed the course of one. He exhaled slowly, the hum of engines above blending with the night air. All right then, he said. Guess I can't say no to that. Her tone softened. Welcome aboard, Malik Ebo Johnson. He looked at her, an amused gleam in his eye. Just don't expect me to bow or nothing. Wouldn't dream of it, she said. As they walked toward the ship together, the lights of New Dakar reflected off the hull, mingling with the stars beyond. Malik glanced back once at the city that had raised him, the rhythm of its life pulsing steady and proud. For the first time, he wasn't leaving home. He was carrying it with him. The ship's engines hummed softly as it rose through New Dakar's atmosphere, the city shrinking below into a mosaic of light and dust. Malik stood near the viewport, watching the planet fade. His hands were steady, but his chest was tight. He had spent his entire life fixing other people's broken things, never imagining he'd be the one leaving the ground behind. Serelth joined him, her reflection shimmering faintly in the glass. Your world is beautiful, she said. It breathes like something alive. It is, he replied. Every corner's got rhythm. People here build music into everything. How we talk, work, argue, survive. She tilted her head slightly. I have never known a culture that carried sound as memory. That's how we remember who we are, he said, even when history forgets us. Her gaze lingered on the planet below. My people measure legacy by monuments. You measure it by song. Maybe that's why ours lasts longer, he said quietly. For a moment silence stretched between them, comfortable, filled with unspoken understanding. Then the intercom chimed. Incoming transmission from New Dakar Command, the ship's AI announced. Malik nodded to Serelth, who gestured for the connection. The holographic image of Captain Omari appeared, his weathered face breaking into a proud grin. You really did it, Malik. Words spreading faster than light. The Council wants to recognize you, says humanity owes you a medal. Malik laughed. Tell them to pay their mechanics on time instead. Omari chuckled. Still the same. But listen, you've started something here. Dominion crews are talking about reform, about shared command. You and the Duchess, what you did up there, it's bigger than you think. Sorelth spoke, her voice calm but firm. It was not rebellion, it was revelation. We saw that strength isn't control, it's harmony. Omari nodded slowly. Maybe that's what the stars needed to hear. The hologram faded, leaving the hum of the engines once more. Malik exhaled. You hear that? We're trending across 2 galaxies. Sorelth raised an eyebrow. Trending? He smiled. Means everyone's talking about us. Not all good, but they're talking. Let them, she said. The sound of change rarely pleases the comfortable. Malik leaned against the console. You really believe they'll listen? She paused before answering. When you faced me that first day, I thought you were reckless. Now I see you were fearless. The Dominion needs both your defiance and your humanity. He studied her. Funny thing about humanity, it's not just ours anymore. You've got some of it now too. Her lips curved faintly. A fair trade then. I gave you a glimpse of the stars. You gave me a heartbeat. Malik looked out at the endless black beyond the viewport. That's what keeps the universe turning. Heartbeats, not engines. Sorelth's tone softened. And yet you make both run. Before he could reply, the ship's sensors detected a transmission from the orbital relay. The AI reported, incoming message, public broadcast request from New Dakar Newsnet. Malik frowned. They really want a statement already? Sorelth turned to him. Then speak, your people should hear it from you. He hesitated, then activated the channel. This is Malik Ebo Johnson, speaking from orbit above New Dakar. I'm no leader, no soldier, just a mechanic, but sometimes fixing a machine means facing what broke it in the first place. Humanity's never been perfect, but our strength is in how we rebuild. No matter who mocks us, underestimates us, or leaves us behind, we rise. Because we remember, because we care. Because we've got heart. He paused, then added, and if the stars ever doubt us again, we'll remind them what soul sounds like. The line went silent. Then, somewhere below, the sound of cheering spread through New Dakar's comm waves, echoing up through the thin atmosphere carried by thousands of voices. Sorelth looked at him, pride shimmering in her eyes. You see? Even without crowns or armies, they follow you. Malik smiled. I don't want followers, I want builders. Then you have them, she said softly. And you have me. Weeks passed as the Starship, once a vessel of pride and politics, became something new. Malik worked day and night with Sorelth and a small crew of human and Dominion engineers, transforming the damaged warship into a living bridge between their worlds. Every panel replaced, every circuit reprogrammed, carried their signature, half metal, half soul. Malik stood at the central engine bay, hands buried in the machinery. You ever think we're building more than a ship? He asked. Sorelth watched him from the upper platform. A symbol, perhaps, one that defies what both our people believe. He grinned faintly. Yeah. Something that says maybe we don't have to keep fighting over who's better. Maybe we just get better together. She tilted her head, eyes glinting in the reactor's soft light. For someone who claims no ambition, you speak like a leader. I fix things, he said, that's all. Doesn't matter if it's an engine or a galaxy. It starts with the same question, what's broken and how do we make it whole again? Her voice softened. And if the answer is that we are what's broken? He paused, his gaze lifting toward her. Then we fix ourselves too. Silence stretched, filled only by the rhythm of the engine. The ship pulsed beneath them, steady and alive, like it had learned to breathe in time with them. Later, Amina's voice echoed through the comms. Power readings are stable, Malik. She's singing. He smiled. Told you she would. Sorelth's brow furrowed slightly. Your sister's methods. She uses music. Sound frequencies, Malik said. She tunes the ship's flow with rhythm. It keeps everything balanced. Think of it as the heartbeat you can't see. Cyrelth closed her eyes for a moment, listening. The faint hum of the engines carried traces of melody, gentle, pulsing, alive. "It reminds me of something," she said softly. "A lullaby my mother sang before the Dominion Wars began." Malik looked at her. "Then maybe that's what this ship is now, a reminder of what used to matter." By the third week, the vessel had changed beyond recognition. The Dominion insignia was replaced with a new emblem. 2 interlocking hands, one human, one alien, encircling a single glowing star. It wasn't official. It wasn't sanctioned. But it was theirs. Amina arrived from New Dakar to see the completed ship for herself. When she stepped aboard, her eyes widened. "You really did it," she whispered. "You built a new kind of ship." Malik chuckled. "We built a new kind of home." Cyrelth approached, offering a formal nod. "Amina Johnson, your frequencies stabilized our energy flow. Without you, this vessel would still tremble with old pain." Amina smiled shyly. "Guess it runs in the family." Malik laughed. "Yeah, turns out fixing the impossible's genetic." Cyrelth turned to face the others gathered on the deck, engineers, navigators, translators, all from different worlds. "This ship," she began, "no longer serves a crown or command. It serves those who dare to build beyond division. It will carry trade, aid, and understanding across the stars. Its purpose is creation, not conquest." The crowd murmured with approval. Malik stepped forward. "You hear that? This ain't just her ship or mine. It's ours, and it's time to take her out for a spin." Cheers erupted, echoing through the chamber. Amina wiped her eyes. "You sound like Dad," she said softly. Malik smiled. "Guess I finally understand what he meant. Every machine's got a soul. You just got to listen close enough." When the engines roared to life, the entire ship seemed to exhale. The vibrations were smooth, the rhythm perfect, syncing with the pulse of those who built it. Cyrelth stood beside Malik at the command console. "She's ready," she said. "Then let's see what she can do." As the ship lifted into the sky, the view of New Dakar stretched below, its deserts glowing gold, its cities shining like constellations. Malik felt the hum beneath his feet, steady and strong. For the first time in history, a human mechanic and a fallen Duchess shared the same command. And above the noise of engines and celebration, one truth rang clear. What they had built wasn't just a starship. It was hope, rebuilt from the ruins. The stars stretched out before them like scattered embers, silent, endless, and full of promise. Malik stood at the bridge of the newly christened vessel Unity's Pulse, watching the dark canvas of space roll past. Every vibration of the ship felt alive beneath his hands, steady as a heartbeat. Amina's voice came through the comms. "Engines are at full sync. She's running smoother than anything in the docks." Malik smiled. "That's because she's more than a ship now." Cyrelth stepped forward, her reflection shimmering against the glass viewport. "She is a declaration," she said softly. "Proof that 2 worlds can breathe the same air and not choke on pride. Guess we just had to get our hands dirty to prove it," he said. Her gaze lingered on him. "You still speak like a dockhand," he grinned, "and you still sound like royalty, even without a crown." "I am learning to live without titles," she said, "but some habits resist extinction." Malik chuckled, crossing his arms. "You'll fit right in on New Dakar then. Everyone there's got pride too big to hide." She looked thoughtful. "Perhaps pride is not a flaw when it drives creation instead of conquest." He nodded. "That's the kind we keep." The console chimed, signaling an incoming transmission. Amina's voice broke through again. "Malik, we're being hailed by the Planetary Council. They're requesting a statement for broadcast." Malik sighed. "Again?" Cyrelth's tone softened. "They want assurance that what we built will not fade." He hesitated, then tapped the comm switch. "This is Malik Johnson, speaking from the bridge of the Unity's Pulse. We're setting course beyond Dominion territory, mapping trade routes, building connections. We're not explorers or conquerors. We're engineers. We fix what's broken, and right now the galaxy's what's broken, so we're gonna fix it together." He released the switch and looked at Cyrelth. "Think they'll buy that?" "They will feel it," she said simply, "and that matters more." As the signal ended, Quiet filled the bridge again. Malik glanced toward the viewport, where New Dakar now glowed far below, its deserts gleaming gold under the rising sun. For the first time, it didn't feel small. It felt infinite, as if the whole planet had been waiting for this moment to breathe freely. "You ever think about what comes next?" he asked. Sorelth folded her hands behind her back. "Next is not written. But for the first time I do not fear what I cannot control." "Must feel strange," Malik said. She smiled faintly. "Liberating, actually." He nodded, the rhythm of the ship's pulse settling into his bones. "Guess that's what freedom sounds like." She looked at him. "You gave me that sound." He met her gaze, steady. "How you gave it back to the stars." Silence stretched again, but this time it was full, not empty. Outside, the stars shimmered brighter, as if the universe itself had paused to listen. Amina's voice returned over the intercom, lighter now. "Hey, big brother. Dock channels are lighting up down here. Everyone's talking about the mechanic who made a Duchess bow." Malik groaned. "Don't start that again." "Oh, I'm starting it," she laughed. "You're a legend now. Guess I'll have to remind people you still owe me rent." He smiled. "You keep the planet running, Mina. I'll handle the stars." "Deal," she said, then cut the line. Sorelth turned toward him. "Your people celebrate with humor." "It's how we stay sane," he said. "When the world tries to break you, sometimes you just laugh and build something stronger." She nodded slowly. "Then laughter may be humanity's greatest invention." He looked at her, thoughtful. "Maybe it is." The ship drifted higher, past the edge of New Dakar's orbit. Malik placed a hand on the console and spoke softly, almost to himself. "We made it this far. Let's see how much farther we can go." Sorelth stepped beside him, her eyes reflecting the infinite ahead. "Then onward, mechanic of Earth. The stars are waiting for your touch." Malik smiled, his voice quiet but certain. "Let's give them something worth remembering." The Unity's pulse accelerated, its light streaking across the horizon like a heartbeat set free, carrying with it the rhythm of a new beginning.